Oliver lived in a small village nestled between rolling hills. The village was a picturesque place, with lush greenery and vibrant flowers blooming in every corner. The air was always fresh, filled with the scent of pine and wildflowers. The houses were small and cozy, with smoke curling from their chimneys. Each home had a unique charm, painted in bright colors and adorned with flower boxes. The villagers took pride in their homes, often seen tending to their gardens or painting their fences. Everyone knew each other, and children played in the streets. The village was a close-knit community where neighbors helped one another, and laughter echoed through the lanes. Festivals and gatherings were common, bringing everyone together in joyous celebration. Oliver was a curious boy, always eager to explore. He had an insatiable thirst for knowledge and a boundless imagination. His days were filled with adventures, whether it was climbing trees, exploring hidden paths, or discovering new insects. He loved to hear stories of faraway lands and dreamed of adventure. The village elders would often gather the children and share tales of mystical places and heroic deeds. Oliver's eyes would light up with wonder, and he would imagine himself as the hero of those stories. Oliver's favorite place was the meadow at the edge of the village. It was a serene spot, with tall grass swaying in the breeze and wildflowers dotting the landscape. The meadow was a haven for Oliver, a place where he could let his imagination run wild. He would sit for hours watching the clouds drift by. Each cloud was a canvas for his dreams, transforming into fantastical shapes and creatures. He would lie on his back, feeling the warmth of the sun and the coolness of the grass beneath him. He imagined them as ships sailing across the sky, taking him on grand adventures. In his mind, he traveled to distant lands, fought dragons, and discovered hidden treasures. The sky was his playground, and the clouds were his companions. Oliver longed to discover a place whispered about in village tales, a place called the Moonlight Meadow. It was said to be a magical place, where the moonlight danced on the flowers and the air was filled with the sound of laughter. Oliver dreamed of finding this enchanted meadow and experiencing its wonders for himself. He knew that one day he would set out on a journey to uncover its secrets and make his dreams come true. Oliver loved to visit his grandmother. Her house smelled of freshly baked cookies and had a warm, inviting feel. Grandma was a storyteller, and her best tales were about the Moonlight Meadow. She described it as a hidden place bathed in moonlight, where wishes came true. Only those with pure hearts can find it, she would say, her eyes twinkling. Those who are brave and kind. Oliver listened with wide eyes, his heart filled with a longing to find this magical place. He wanted to believe in magic, in a place where dreams could come true. One day, Oliver decided to find the Moonlight Meadow. His grandmother had fallen ill, and he wished for her to be well again. He packed a small bag with apples, bread, and a bottle of water. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was determined. Oliver kissed his grandmother goodbye and promised to return soon. He set off into the forest that lay beyond the village, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. He had only his courage and his grandmother's stories to guide him. The forest was a different world, full of mystery and wonder. Sunlight struggled to reach the forest floor through the thick canopy of leaves, creating a dim, enchanting atmosphere. Strange sounds filled the air, the chirping of crickets, the rustling of leaves, and whispers of the wind, along with the distant hoot of an owl. Oliver walked for hours, following the winding path deeper into the forest. He felt a little scared, but mostly excited, his heart racing with anticipation. He imagined the magical creatures he might meet along the way and the wonders he might see in this enchanted place. He knew he was on a special journey, one that would change him forever, a quest for something extraordinary and magical. Section 5. The Talking Squirrel. As Oliver walked, he saw a flash of brown fur. It was a squirrel, but not an ordinary one. This squirrel could talk. "Lost, little boy?" the squirrel chirped, its tiny nose twitching. Oliver was amazed. He had never met a talking animal before. He told the squirrel about the Moonlight Meadow and his wish for his grandmother. The squirrel listened patiently, then pointed with its tiny paw. "Follow the stream," it squeaked. "It will lead you to the Whispering Woods. There you'll find someone who can help." Section 6. The Wise Old Owl. Oliver followed the stream until he reached a part of the forest where the trees grew tall and close together. The air was thick with the scent of pine and the sound of rustling leaves. He had heard many stories about this place, a forest so ancient and mysterious that it seemed to whisper secrets to those who dared to enter. This must be the Whispering Woods, he thought. His grandmother had told him tales of this enchanted forest, where the trees seemed to have a life of their own, and the animals could speak in human tongues. He saw a large owl perched on a branch, its eyes bright and knowing. The owl's feathers were a mix of browns and whites, blending perfectly with the bark of the tree. It seemed to be watching him, as if it had been expecting his arrival. "Seeking the Moonlight Meadow, young one?" The owl hooted, its voice deep and resonant. Oliver was taken aback. He had not spoken a word, yet the owl knew his quest. His heart raced with a mix of excitement and fear. How did the owl know? He wondered if the stories his grandmother told him were true. Could this owl really understand his thoughts and desires? He told the owl about his grandmother and his wish. His grandmother had always spoken of the Moonlight Meadow, a place of magic and wonder where wishes were granted under the light of the full moon. Oliver had come to find it, hoping to make a wish that would bring happiness to his family. The owl listened intently, then spoke again. Its eyes seemed to glow with an inner light, and its voice was filled with wisdom and kindness. The meadow appears only under the light of the full moon. It is a place where dreams come true and the impossible becomes possible. But it is hidden from those who do not believe in its magic. Follow the silver path and you shall find it. The path will guide you through the forest, past the ancient trees and the whispering winds, to the heart of the Moonlight Meadow. Trust in the magic, and it will lead you to your heart's desire. Section 7. The Magical Meadow. Oliver followed the owl's directions carefully. He walked until the trees thinned, and he stepped into a clearing bathed in the soft glow of the full moon. This was it, the Moonlight Meadow. It was even more beautiful than he had ever imagined. Flowers in every color imaginable bloomed, their petals shimmering with an inner light. A gentle breeze whispered through the trees, carrying the sweet scent of honeysuckle and jasmine. In the center of the meadow stood a sparkling, magical fountain. As Oliver approached the fountain, a small figure with delicate wings fluttered down and landed softly on the edge. It was a fairy, as delicate and beautiful as a flower. "Welcome, Oliver," the fairy said, her voice like the tinkling of bells. "You have a pure heart and a noble wish. You may make one wish on the Moonlight Fountain." Oliver was speechless. He had found the Moonlight Meadow and met a real fairy. His heart swelled with gratitude for the squirrel, the owl, and the magic of the forest. Now he could finally make his wish. Oliver closed his eyes and thought of his grandmother, her kind smile and her loving heart. He wished with all his might for her to be well again. He wished for her to be strong and healthy, filled with laughter and joy. As he made his wish, a warm feeling spread through him. He knew deep down that his wish had been heard. The fairy smiled at him, her eyes filled with warmth. "Your wish is granted, Oliver. Your grandmother will be well again." Oliver thanked the fairy and retraced his steps through the forest. He found his way back to the Talking Squirrel and the Wise Owl, thanking them for their guidance. Finally, he emerged from the forest and hurried back to the village. As he approached his grandmother's house, he saw a light in the window. He burst through the door, his heart pounding with anticipation. And there she was, sitting up in bed, a cup of tea in her hands and a smile on her face. Oliver's grandmother was overjoyed to see him. Her eyes sparkled with joy as she opened the door to find her beloved grandson standing there, a wide smile on his face. It had been a while since they last saw each other, and the reunion was filled with warmth and happiness. Oliver had been worried about her health, but seeing her now, he felt a wave of relief wash over him. She was feeling much better, just as he had wished. The color had returned to her cheeks, and her laughter filled the room, making it feel like home again. Oliver had always believed in the magic of Moonlight Meadow, but seeing his grandmother's recovery, he realized that sometimes the magic we need is simply the love and care we give to one another. She hugged him tightly and told him how proud she was of his bravery and kindness. Oliver had faced many challenges during his adventure, but hearing his grandmother's words made it all worthwhile. Her embrace was warm and comforting, a reminder of the strength and love that family provides. Oliver realized that the true magic wasn't just in the Moonlight Meadow, but also in the love he shared with his grandmother. It was a powerful lesson, one that he would carry with him for the rest of his life. The adventures and the magical moments were important, but the love and connections he had with his family were the true treasures. He learned that the greatest gift wasn't the granting of wishes, but the courage to face challenges, no matter how daunting they seemed. Oliver had faced many fears during his journey, and each time he stood his ground, he grew stronger and more confident. This courage was something he knew he could rely on in the future, the kindness to help others, even when it wasn't easy. Oliver remembered the friends he made along the way and how their kindness had helped him in his darkest moments. He realized that small acts of kindness could make a big difference in someone's life, and he vowed to always be there for those in need, and the love that binds families together. This love was the foundation of everything he did, giving him the strength to overcome any obstacle. Oliver knew that no matter where his adventures took him, his family would always be his anchor, providing him with unwavering support and love. Oliver continued to cherish the memory of his adventure and the lessons he learned in the Moonlight Meadow, often reflecting on the magical moments that had shaped him. These memories were a source of inspiration, reminding him of the beauty and wonder that existed in the world, carrying the magic within his heart. This magic was not just the enchantment of the meadow, but the love, courage, and kindness he had discovered within himself. Oliver knew that as long as he held on to these values, he could face any challenge and make the world a better place for those around him.